Good evening, heroes and heroines, or good afternoon rather, and welcome to Practising Programming in C, broadcasting live from a pretty sunny but frankly still chilly Manchester. Yesterday we actually got ourselves in a position to run the program. So let's show that happening. It dies, by the way. So we're at this position where we need to actually fix these runtime errors. But interestingly, we're now able to run the program just like this. You don't need to pass any arguments to it for the first time in its entire history. Since Cinera has begun, we've always had to pass arguments to it. But now that we've got the config file stuff, we don't need to do that, which is kind of sweet. And I shouldn't do that power off. Gotta be careful of that. Blimey. So yeah, let's just. I think I need to get the temp directory up, and it was in Cinera. I think it's here. Yeah. So we're still in a state where it's not really clearly it's not working. And I think each time I do need to just get rid of the actual test directory so we don't hit any snafus there. And then once we've got this actually generating, then we can sort out kind of working with the existing stuff. Now, I think before we start, I'd just like to do a little couple of things. I'd like to add an origin variable that we can use to set a default theme, and I'd like to do a strip slashes function. So let's do both of those things. Do the ident first. Oh, actually, let's do the strip slashes because they'll be dead easy. So we're going to have to do them before resolve variables, yeah. So that's going to have to be available to. It's going to have to be available above these guys. Because basically, what you do is you just pass the result of resolve string to your strip slashes function, essentially. Resolve string. Push was not approved. Alright, yeah, this is just a pointer to a person. Yeah, that's fine. Get medium from project. Yeah. Now we did do some get functions yesterday in Cinera, didn't we? Which I think I might actually just pull over to here. What do we call them? I think we did call it get project from config, didn't we? These dudes. Now I think just pulling these down, pulling these into the other thing we did should be fine. Ah, right, actually, maybe not. Oh, this was just to make it take the config. Didn't we change that to be this? Key ID, I think it is, isn't it? What is it coming in as? project ID. So that was apparently passing, was it? Hold on a second. Okay, so project.id is what it should just have to be. Oh, did we not do this? Ah, that's what we didn't do. Let's do this then. This was a change that we did in the other dude, but we forgot to do in here. Yeah, that was all. That's what that is. Okay, so we changed that in config.c, as I said, but we just didn't change it in the config_full.c one. So we're now building. All we did was we copied the get thingamajigs out of here. So that means in Cinera, when we actually go to the config, where we do the get config from, which we didn't actually paste in from the full one, get project from config. So where's get media for project? Get media. Let's just pull these down into the main function, main file. And then when we do pass, or is it get config? Get project from config. When we call it here, we just pass in that config. This guy here. And I believe this should now continue to build. Yeah. So I think it's just right here. So this is the only place where, the highest place we do resolve string, let's just see, resolve string, well actually no it's not. Actually, yeah, now I think about it. Push medium. Get medium for projects. Get project from config. So we've got the push functions. I mean, it might be sensible to have like the push and the get do sort of going in pairs. And then if you do the get project from config, it's like these guys should then be below the push project functions. So there's a push project onto project, push project onto project, push project onto config, and then get project from config, and the get project from config. Sorry, get project from project. And I mean, for even more niceness, just do that. And then we need to do that for this guy. So this is the push project medium here, yeah. Pull these guys down. So that's the get project from project under that guy. and the get approach from config under that one. Alright, so it's the strip slashes, which needs to be below, needs to be available to this, to the highest function that calls resolve string, the uppermost function that calls resolve string, which is going to be this person. So and I'm also going to do like a type def. This is going to be the path type, path relativity. Path abs, path rel. I think that should be descriptive enough. So then this guy takes that. And it's going to be actually no, I think it's the path rel, it's the one where you want to strip the preceding slashes. Well, yeah, I guess technically actually it's just that, isn't it? Right, and then it's while the source base at the source length takeaway 1 is equal to a forward slash. We decrement the length. I guess also, because we're talking about a path, let's say, bullet path. Okay. So what this is supposed to do if the first character is a slash, so while the first character is a slash, move the base forwards and decrease the length so we don't, so we keep ourselves within the limits. And then either way, whether the path is relative or absolute, you want to be stripping the final slash. And you say the base path at the path length minus 1 is equal to a forward slash, then we decrement the path length. That seems reasonable to me. Let's test it. We're not even calling it yet, but I think if we just add to one of these guys up here, let's change the asset root directory, because this was the guy that was like this before. And then let's go down, and for the directories, it's basically just the directories that are going to have to do this. The HTML dir is going to be an absolute directory, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are going to all just be absolutes. The CSS path is going to be relative, as is the play template. The two templates, the play template and the search template. Now that I see it, it might be an idea to rename these guys to be called ident template player, just for a bit more sortability. But that's a bit of a non-necessary thing. So the HTML data was saying it's going to be an absolute path, so strip slashes. No, it was the asset root directory is the thing that we did. So HTML data, play template we said is going to be a relative. Did I say it? Yeah, strip slash. And the title, unit, root directory. Based CSS path images directory. So let's do all of these dudes. Strip slash. Player location. This is relative. Yeah. Same with that's player location. This is same with the search location. Search templates. Did we do the player template above? Yeah, we did. Rel. And the templates there is going to be absolute. So that's the push project. Really? Damn. I've done that all the way down. Oh shit, I have. That's unfortunate. Try again. Not exactly sure what I hit there. Okay, so that's those guys. These are never going to be anything to do with stripping slashes. So it's only the pairs that will ever have slashes be stripped from them. Happily, the push project is called by 2 different people, so we've handled all of the stuff that needs to happen there. Is that it? I think shouldn't the support have to be stripping slashes? I didn't we just determine that this was the uppermost thing? Maybe we didn't. What's this? Push support, so the icon. Yeah, I just feel like this is supposed to be a relative thing. Yes, it's supposed to be relative to the CSS directory. Yeah, you got it right. Now what's this saying? This is saying icon. This is not a path. The icon is just a glyph. Which is a bit of an unfortunate clash of interests, because we've got this thing that's called icon in 2 different places, but they refer to 2 different things. So I'm not sure if you want to change the medium one to be so the icon is going to be like ident glyph to distinguish it from the support icon, or do you want to change the support to be ident sprite, essentially? And that might not be such a bad idea, because we do sort of say that support icons are supposed to be sprites of a set format. So you can make your own, but we only actually handle ones that are particular dimensions and orientations. I think that's just to consider. Should be too tough to make that happen when we need it, if we need it. So the thing we just did was stripping the slash from the assets root directory. Yeah. home.temp Cinera and network. So the assets root directory, this guy up here, ends in a /. This guy doesn't end in a /. And it is preceded by a / because it's considered to be an absolute path. Now just demonstrate if we change this to be rel, the assets root directory, we should find that the assets root directory now doesn't have its / at the start. Yeah, so that just works as we want it to work, which is great. So that was thing 1. Let's copy that into config.c. And then I guess we just see where strips is called. That's called by push support, so let's just copy this entire thing in. two things. Yep, that's it. Cinera.c is still building. So the other thing that I wanted to do was introduce an origin variable. Yeah, you can only have one origin. So if you see the origin thing, we need to handle that. So resolve string resolve local variable. Pretty sure we don't need to do anything anything else anywhere else apart from here. So the idea of this is that it's going to be taking in a project. So we've got this project that's in this scope tree here. Basically, we're doing a similar thing as ident family. It's like so yeah, you can only have an origin if the scope ID is equal to the added project. That's a given. I guess actually you could also say this could just be a while. Although you couldn't error, could you? If you do it as a while, I don't think, because when you exit, there's no sort of else case. So I think you do need to just do this. Now, you see here how we're wrapping this to pass its config error as a pointer to the string. Now, print string received. Print string C. So, I mean, even if print string needs to be passing it as its address, which it frankly doesn't really, this could still just take it as a non-pointer. In which case, you could just pass that. You could just put this here. So let's do that. Although, no, I will do it, but let's do the actual thing that we're doing first. think it's just this. While scope well, hang on a second. While we have a parent, and our parent's ID key is ident project, we do this, and then you do the push string of that scope's ID thingy. Well, hold on. It's not string list anymore. It's what is this going to be? We need to result equals extend string in book. So presumably reset pen happened up at the top. Maybe not. Oh yeah, right. That's kind of nice. I think we're okay. Resolve string calls reset pen, and then when we actually call this resolve local variable, all this does is it'll extend that function, extend that string. So yeah, process is equal to true. If you haven't processed, no equals set. I think that's all you need. And then we'll do the defaults. All you want to do is you want to say default the theme to something. Okay, so now if I go back to the Cinera.com and I move this and then run the program, we currently see that the theme is set to something, don't we? Probably somewhere. Oh, we're not printing it out, maybe. Handle genre theme and cache directory, yeah. So let's just stick it up somewhere. Really doesn't matter where. Does not matter in the slightest. Now, because we actually have set the thing, we should see the theme coming through. So we do see the theme. So theme is set to nothing. So we haven't quite got that right. Have we? If the theme's a project... Sorry, if the... we set the value to be origin, wrap0 origin. And we said in resolve thingies, so if the scope ID key is in the ident project, scope ID value, so we should at least do this, shouldn't we? While scope parent and scope parent's ID is equal to the ident project, we pop up to our parent. Let's just see if we get here first of all. Could probably do with not printing out all the stuff. So yeah, we don't seem to be getting here, interestingly. Why would that be, exactly? Must be something else I need to do. ID is equal to ident null. So we have got the config identifier strings, right? We did add the origin to it. How did I do an origin here? Array count to the ident. Copy identifier strings. See what happens here, and also let's just printf the function name, get config identifier from string. So seeing the only one it's seeing is not thingy is home, which is as expected. Which, I mean, we can just actually see that if we're getting the, this is going to produce a lot more stuff, so we might actually not get it into the buffer. Yeah, we should still see, though. Hang on, let me just check the set defaults thing. It's possible that I got this wrong. So we're doing a theme. Set the key, ident theme. Setting the value to be wrap 0. And we're pushing that onto the root. I think that does seem right. Like that's what everybody else is doing. And then all the projects should inherit that root, the theme. Just checking the init type specs. The root is string ident origin. True means that it's you can only have one of them. And then the origin. Yeah, so it's pushing onto the project. Oh, it can only have one origin. So yeah, we just don't seem to be getting that through. At least I don't think we are. Let me just double check. Theme is there, not set. What's this music? Oh, this is Orang. Okay, cool. I guess just step in and just see what's going on. Oh, actually, we could, rather than printing out the config, we could probably look at the scope tree, yeah. Let's take a gander at this guy. So yeah, the theme is getting set. It's got the update interval. I think I should actually get rid of that. Print out from the get config identify from string. So there's the theme coming through for the root scope. We then need to look for a project scope. This is all the root scope still. Here's a project, and the theme's there, right? Project equals risky, so something's busted in the resolution. Theme is still there. So resolve local variable, case ident family, case origin, and like I say, we're not getting here. Case. Ah, This is the wrong test, isn't it? Well, hold on a second. We don't even get to this. Because the variable is ident origin, right? Interesting. So, do we see? We are resolving the family, so let's just see if that is even the right test there. Okay, so it isn't the right test. Oh. Yeah, of course. So, okay, so we see the origin, and that's popping up down there. Below, after we've printed out after we've resolved the variables. What am I missing here? Yo, Taiwan 30 centimeters. What's the 30 centimeters referring to? I don't know if I asked that before actually. What's that referring to? If I have, I'm sorry, I just can't remember. So we are seeing the person coming through. That person variable is set somewhere. So the origin, we are seeing the origin. Well, we're setting the origin is what we're doing. I suppose somewhere in your body. Did we did yeah, we were printing out the string, wasn't we? Were we, that was getting passed to get config identifier from string. So apparently that is never getting got, is that right? Right, so we've got this $origin. That is perfectly valid, it should be, shouldn't it? String test ++ I. So I guess we just step through this actually. Let's step through this function config pair. I mean, I guess we could even print out the pair, couldn't we? To see if we even get that through at least. Because we should be seeing the what should we be seeing? We should be seeing it's the theme set to the origin, right? It's interesting that there's. Oh yeah, of course, because we build up the parse tree before we then go on to resolve these guys. So okay, I can believe that. Now I don't know about you, but I'm not seeing any theme anywhere. It just seems like that's just got completely lost. Let's just do a search. Yeah, we're not seeing that amongst this thing at all. So as far as resolved string is concerned, it never sees. Oh, fucking hell. Oh dear. Well, hold on a minute. Shouldn't we be calling this? You know, when we said that, I mean, we are saying the theme somewhere, aren't we not? Or maybe we're not, actually. Maybe that's all it is, isn't it? Push project. Yeah, that's all it is. So we're just not handling the theme yet. Blimey. I guess we just didn't catch that because we weren't printing out the entire project. So we that slipped under our radar. You know, like we never saw in the config printout that the template was blank. So we're getting there at least. So now let's see what we actually get. Okay, cool. So now the theme's coming through as risky. And that's for both projects. So that's for reader. Let's just make sure that risky itself is actually getting it. So risky is set to risky. This is the kind of container project. This is the real risky business. And then the theme is going to be somewhere, isn't it? There's the theme is risky. Risk gets the theme risky too. Book club gets the theme risky. Theme risky. Cool. So that's better. I think in light of that fact that we missed that the thing wasn't set, I think let's actually make the print thingamajig. Well, it is to print in the genre, isn't it? What's the other thing? And the genre theme and cache directory. I suppose while we're here, we could do the cache directory, couldn't we? This is doing genre. Let's do cache directory. And let's stick it up just before the log level, I think. Where's the log level? Number scheme linear. Yeah, stick it before there. So this is going to be print config pair, isn't it? So our cache isn't set. I think we do need to handle an unset cache dir, but I think we should push on a default one at least. Set defaults. So we've done the theme. Consider whether genre settings should apply. Product versus entry level. I think let's still just continue considering it. And then here, let's do another one of these. So I guess we're pushing on the scopes, right? We're going to push on, surely there, aren't we? Push pair. Push scope, yeah. So we're pushing scopes, pairs, ints, and finally bools if we needed to, but we don't have to need to. I guess because they all default to false, which we're happy with. So config pair. XTG cache home. I think that's what we want it to be. Surely we don't need to do that specially, do we? Does the cache dir not actually... Is that not in the init type specs? Yeah, the cache dir is there. And there. So what's happening in this case? Result string probably isn't getting happening, is it? Ah, push project. Probably needs to handle the cache dir, yeah. I guess just stick on the end. Ah, yeah. And the cache dir is an absolute, isn't it? So that's kind of handy. that's just going to do what it needs to do. And there you have it. Cache dir is coming through. And I think that's the correct place that we want it to be at, by the way. Yeah. Okay, so we've just done some stuff. We've just changed push product, so let's, at the very least, do this. We also did okay. mean, there's really no necessity to do this by hand. But screw it. Edit type specs. Pull the whole thing down actually. Resolve local variables. And I think we just need to paste. We only need to paste the indent, the ident origin thing. We don't need to bother with the whole function. Yeah, we did mean, didn't we, to change config error to take just a regular old string. Oops. I think that's it, isn't it? Cache directory also did set defaults. Okay. And then print project, doesn't it? Let's just take the whole lot. The genre theme and cache directory, I think we've done a lot, haven't we? No. Well, maybe we haven't done the genre. Well, there's a genre. There's a theme, and there's a cache directory. So yeah, we're totally doing that. Pretty sure that the guy over here there isn't, so we just paste it in. And now, unless I'm very much mistaken, we've done all the things that we just did. So let's see if Cinera.thingy builds. It does. Just out of interest, let's just see if that has changed our behaviour at all. No. So now we're into this situation here where we are sussing out what's going on Cinera side. I think we've done the change to the config that we wanted to. We've done the slash stripping. We're stripping the slashes, and we've set some more default stuff. I've introduced the origin variable. So yeah, I think that's all. Now I was also thinking that we might need another variable, which is kind of like it's basically the family take away the origin. But now, unfortunately, I can't remember why I was thinking I needed that. So I'm gonna like not bother with that just for the moment. But there was a thought that crossed my mind that we might need that. So, well, we're going for an hour already, have we? Gosh. Tell you what, it's going to take 2 minutes, and then we're gonna crack on with Cinera to see what's going on. See what's going on over here. So yeah, I'll be back in just 2 minutes. Okay, on we go. I think we'll queue up some more music as and when we need it. Not sure how long we're going to go for today. It's possible actually that we'll just go for about another hour. think I'll chill out for a bit before Handmade Hero, I guess. I think we'll like to watch Handmade Hero today. So we have an address pointing to the 0 page, which is the same error that we started off the day with, because the abbreviation apparently isn't set. So I imagine that we're probably trying to write to somewhere. We'll probably do a copy string to buffer. On a thing that isn't actually a buffer. On a thing that that has no like space. We're probably doing it for a thing that's just a pointer, and that's kind of screwing up the whole thing. If there's no author, so if the annotation has an author, then we do this process. It's line 5219 that's going wrong. So we're getting into here. So the annotation either has an author or the speaker's count is greater than 1 and it's not categorized AFK. So if it has an author and the searching for the speaker yields -1, then so this means that it's authored by somebody in the chat. I think in this case let's step through this. This probably needs to change completely. Let's come right to here. So plug sci-fi shout out of the interview with Andrew and Yunsop. So it's on line 2, time is 7. There is one reference. And there's no author. Sorry, there is no author. There's also no quote. It's not a quote. So, if there is an author, which there isn't, or the speaker's count is greater than 1, So we have a person there without an abbreviation set. That's probably me. So the question is, why is that speaker not set? They have got a person at least. So we've got me. And Mio. And I think by now we should have done build credits by now, shouldn't we? So I guess let's step into build credits. So let's rerun, yep. Okay, so there's no speaker greater than one, so we don't need to do the thing. So then that begs the question: what's going on further down? If we continue down to where we were, sort of that point thingy. So what's supposed to be happening here exactly? This is just setting the display name. Author. If it hasn't been seen is equal to false. Why is it doing a speaker at all, actually, now that I think about it? Oh, I might not be logged in. So reading about GPIO. Yeah, I just don't understand how this guy works. So here we go, reading about GPIO. So we're saying, plug sci-fi shout out of the interview with Andrew and Jonsop, which has a reference. So the speakers count is 1. It's not going to be categorized AFK. So if that's not, I don't understand why we're getting it. Oh, I'm counting it as a speaker, which I shouldn't be. So yeah, that's fortunate. So push credentials actually needs to know. Well, hold on a minute. Why do we push the credentials for the annotator? Speakers count. I think we need to rethink about what this is actually supposed to be trying to do here. I'm on 5187. All this is supposed to be doing so I think this is supposed to be disambiguating between, or it's supposed to be handling the cases where you have speakers such as these people, or so these gonna be like, these guys are gonna be authored, right? So these guys are gonna be set as authored, but in the case of the Andrew Bromwich episode and the ones with Yonsup and Andrew Waterman, these guys are not going to be authored. These are going to be considered to be whatever is the default thing. So these are default by default speech. So if we toggle that off, you should see that at least some of them should go. So like the top 3 at least, Case Mittori, Andrew Bromwich, and then Andrew Bromwich's first one should disappear when we toggle off the speech, and that's exactly what we do get. So they get the default category. Yeah, I think what's kiboshing us here is this speakers count. So I think we actually did it wrong earlier. Before I think it was incorrect in that it was... Well, actually, now that I think about it, maybe it was right to do push credentials. So we get that person from the config, and when we do the push credentials for the annotator, rather than setting them as a speaker, we simply only output the stuff into the credits menu. I think that's what you want to do. Let's see if that helps us. Because basically, I don't think the annotator should be considered as a speaker. They should be credited. So the speakers count, I believe, is only actually used up there. Which suggests, does it not? You can just do here, and if you just say the role. So now we're going to insert it into DB error. I'll just do that. Okay. So skipping that, no credentials, I guess, Andrew Waterman, yeah, which is perfectly right. Fetching quotes, so clearly we're not in the quotes right, are we? So that's supposed to be marking the size of the search. The search is supposed to be the size of that. So times entry length. I think we're not setting the entry length, are we? Player URL location for the size of text plus 82. What is text? So text is a fixed size thing. This is a DB entry. This title, that's got to be fixed size. Unit length. So it seems a bit troubling that that cannot accommodate, you know, this particular call can't accommodate a null terminated character string. This looks like it's probably the first thing that gets written in there. Construct player URL. Oh no, it is that is using a buffer. If strings differ, the current project base, I think. Let's do that at least. Same here. Also there. And here. Is it only the quotes that it's fetching, or was it also checking the privacy? I think it might have been checking the privacy. So let's see if I've got that option. I think probably what's going on here is that the cache file isn't getting initialized correctly. I presume we're just not setting that path, right? Yeah, I mean, set cache directory is this. Yeah, right. So rather than copy string, we need to so that's operating on the default config. Is this ever been called? No. Yeah, it's not. But if you look at the curl quotes into cache, quote cache path. I think this probably just has to change, doesn't it, to use an actual file. I think that's what's going on there. But we can handle that when we get there. The prescient thing, or the pertinent thing, is copy buffer no null. So this on line 6792. The db file buffer. Edit reinsertion now. Hang on a second. Yeah, let's just I mean, it's nice to see that this stuff is actually getting generated now, which is kind of cool. But let's get the regular old building working first. So this is now the call on line 7855. Collation buffer search. The 3B entries head accounts. Yeah, I guess what's going on here. And also, were we sort of thinking that this is garbage? Like the count times the entry length doesn't mean anything. Is that true? Because the text is related to the title. So I think, yeah, I think this is just wrong, and I think it's always been wrong. So even if the entry's head account is being set, I just think that working on an entry length that's just this title, when this is an entry, so DB entry this, well, hold on a second, it's this title. Oh, actually, maybe that could be okay, because it's yeah, I'm going to take that back. Yeah, okay, so this title does have a max length, so that is going to be giving us enough size for whatever entry we need to talk about. So then the next question is the DB entries head account getting set? Right. So that is set to 66, which I assume is kind of right. The query container string. Let's just step past and just see what the size actually gets set to. So it apparently needs to have this much space. So that class equals risky. Maybe that isn't quite getting accounted for. Script points to take away script allocation. This succeeds. Search required is equal to false, apparently. I'm not 100% sure. I understand why. Get project from database. Search representation of. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're actually initializing the database correctly. I sort of imagine we might be because we are producing this metadata file. Which looks okay to me. So I think what we're talking about here, well, I was going to say I think we're loading in this file, but maybe we're not. We're loading in the metadata buffer. Query container. So that's HTML stuff. So I think this succeeds, doesn't it? It's this that fails. So it's trying to write into the collision buffer search, which it reckons is too small. I think this is the first time we get here, isn't it? I assume we're in a loop. Yeah, we could be in a loop actually, so what I said earlier about this being the first thing it writes into the buffer might not be true. Text. So it's just the titles, isn't it? There's stuffing in there. So starting at the first entry, entry index is less than the DB entries header dot count. This was 60 odd, wasn't it? And let's just have a look. That's probably reasonable. How do you actually get this? One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 times 4, add 3. $67, so we're missing one. Is that right? Oh, because yeah, we didn't get one of the entries in because we had to skip it because there was no we didn't have the credentials for Andrew Waterman. Didn't we see that this was 16,000 before? Maybe not. 15,918. I'm just kind of interested to see something. Let me just cheese out completely, and where we do that computation for the size, just multiply by 2. Yeah, I'm doing the reinsertion version, which I don't want to be doing. So that succeeds. So yeah, it's clearly just a case of computing this incorrectly. Yeah, I mean, entry length is equal to string length player URL dot location plus size of the text plus 82. Like, I said this the other day, didn't I? I was like, what is plus 82 all about? And what's this plus 3 garbage? Um, get project from database. Yeah, so this is when we're on. When we're actually supporting. This title plus 3. So if we just take a step back and think about what we actually want here. We want to know actually maybe we'll see what I've actually produced there. So yeah, we're missing some stuff. Aren't we? Is this just a case of this not being able to include, not being able to use thingamajigs? No. Not being able to source files, essentially. Okay, so we've fucked up somewhere in here too. What's that? Oh. Don't want to be looking at this. I want to be looking at this, please. What? Jesus Christ. This one, please. So that can't be found. Is this using a template that doesn't actually exist? Managed to find this, alright. It says packing templates. Play template is nothing. Play location. Yeah, that's not relevant. Search template is nothing. And the template's dirt should be nothing, shouldn't it? Templates there is nothing. Could I just be constructing the URLs incorrectly? With the CSS, which is supposed to be relative, so that'll chop off both sides. I'm just sort of thinking in light of the fact that the the search location and the player location are both nothing. So the construct URL So here we go, we should see here. According to that, we should have put 2 dots here. And then when we resolve the path, looking for this, through that as an extend string. Yeah, I don't know. I think let's just to do this for the moment. Actually, is there somewhere that does a like a single dot construct URL prefix? So is that being called somewhere where we should have been using the assets? Construct asset URL prefix. Construct asset URL rather. Oh, sorry. This is 2 dots too. So yeah, I'm looking for where there's 1 dot. So yeah, there's nothing that produces one single dot. Assets. Oh, hold on a second. Yep, file name is a size, so that's correct. To be using rep0i for that. Maybe the length has to be +1. Basically, this isn't going to be right, but I'm thinking if I just remove this, that should give us the right path. Maybe not. The assets root directory is actually set to be this. Oh, we haven't set the assets root URL. Ah, that's going to be the problem. So the asset root URL should be set to this. Ah ha ha. Hold on a second. There is the assets root URL. We apparently are setting it. Oh shit. So did I get an error about this? I wonder. Invalid field asset root URL. Yeah, we totally did. Jesus. That's pretty cool. Still getting that skip because we're missing Andrew. Okay, so there we go. We are getting some slashing going on there. Double slashes. The URL probably actually wants to strip, doesn't it? Yeah. So we simply finish with that. So yeah, I think if we do a URL, I think we want to say that it's an absolute path, so we just strip from the end. And that's what you want. Then we just change that, put that into the config.c. So we've got the assets URL somewhere. What was modified exactly? Oh, this doesn't. Yeah, we don't care. So they have it. And there's our thing. So now we should actually get the full proper thing. Yeah, we do. But we're only getting one dude here. And that isn't working. So yeah, we're missing out a bunch of stuff. So we set the size to be that. Offset landmarks happens. So we're going from this ad hoc script into the search. Copy buffer from the script into the search. Currently I think that should be okay. And then we come out of here. We're actually generating the search page in this case. So we've done that. We've apparently probably succeeded, hopefully. And then we do buffer to HTML. And we don't have a template, so we're going to be coming down to this area. I think I'm right in saying that the template file buffer location should not be set. Because there's no template. Like if you go to init template, or pack template, sorry. This is going to take the current product player template. Yeah. And then we init template. Yeah, sorry, we only do this if the current project player length is greater than 0. So the template call shouldn't have done anything. So like I say, this shouldn't take effect. And we should be getting down to here. Claiming a 512 kilobyte buffer for the master. Body HTML. So this isn't getting finished up. So we've got the URL. We're outputting entries. So I feel like we are doing this. We are copying the buffer. Right, we've got HTML header. Cinera 0.7 is coming through. Where's that coming from? Probably goodness knows where that's coming from. It'll be includes, won't it? So we're copying the includes search collation buffer into the master. Then it copies a new line in. Copies head body. And then it goes into our collation buffer search, tries to copy that. And it finally does that. So it seems like we're getting one entry. And maybe when we're writing into this collation buffer search, for some reason we're putting a null terminator where there shouldn't be one. So for each entry, so it's this doing a VSM printf, which is going to put a null terminator. So I think you are supposed to put a null terminator. So we did change these, didn't we? We first of all looped over, seeing if we got the space first. Option to put in a format. This doesn't print the thing, does it? It errors, but it doesn't actually end up. Oh no, sorry. No, it is copying. We're not handling all the things, are we? This adds 5. Oh yeah, we might be. Less than, greater than. We add 3. Ampersand or quote, we had 4. And double quote, we had 5. I'm pretty sure that said 5 over there. So yeah, we set that to be 0 and don't increment past it, which is fine. So is there an occasion where we do a null termination and increment past it by mistake? Oh, do we need to return something? The length? No. What's getting cold down here? Copy string no format. I guess it'd be worthwhile just going into this loop and then I think we just did that, didn't we? We'll going in and seeing what actually gets copied in, and just print out the collision buffer search every so often. And obviously we need to actually compute the size correctly too. DB entry title. This title plus 3. So cheesy. Text plus 82. So we're copying a string to the number. Let's print the number. Wow. Isn't that suspicious? No, it's not. I don't think. So that already contains all of that information. Repeats 20 times. Okay, 16 spaces, then 20 spaces. Label 4. So we're up to test / risky. We've now got that. Didn't seem to do much, did it? What exactly is text, I wonder? How to watch Risky Business, the Internet episode guide. It's not terminated. Is that true? What is this telling me again? Ah, so it's copied too much, hasn't it? Why has that happened? Copy printable HTML, so why is wrap IO? Ah, just text needs to get cleared. Clear copy string probably has to be the call there. Doesn't it? Is that true? Because text gets where does text come from? Text happens way out here, yeah, so we probably do need to do some sort of a clear, don't we? Because we only write into the text here. That way this wrap 0i can actually work in the way that it's intended to do. Do we not have a clear copy string, no format? We have. Which we do need. We need the So let's try that again. Okay, didn't mean to do that. To have deleted that, let's just quit and start again. Ah, maybe the number. Do we need to somehow, because we've got the compression unit length. Well, that seems to be fine. I think what's bamboozling me is that we usually just get shown only as much as it can print, don't we? So print text. If we just step into here now, so apparently we'll allow 104 bytes for the text. Right. Now. Okay, so that is a 0. I think we're up here, aren't we? So at some point we're probably going to end up touching this dude. Like way before this point. Yeah, we're counting that 3 and then we're going to pop out. So that ain't right at all. Bloody hell. Oh shit, now I'm in Cinera working. Gosh. So what was I trying to do there? Trying to look at clear. Where's clear coming from? Is that in the config.c? I wonder if this isn't working correctly. So let's step into it and see. Where was it? It's sort of 7,000 something, wasn't it? Seven eight seven one. What, 100 and something? 104. I mean, can't you just say v at I is equal to 0? So this is probably gonna be. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. Does that get initialized to 0? You know, when you do the text up here. So that may not be initialized, okay. I mean, didn't we find that? Sorry. Didn't we find that these clearing, when you do the fit, the clear did seem to work? Alright. Seven eight 2 4. So you run to here. Step over and print the text. So there's garbage in the text. Right. Step over here, and now we've got nulls, which is perfect. Now I've got this thing here. Continue on to here. So look at the text. Nothing. Copy string into the text. There. How to watch with the annotated episode guide. Perfect. Then let's continue on. What's in the text at the moment? Is it still the same stuff? Yep. But we want to clear it. Oh, and also, I guess we didn't look at the wrap 0i, did we? So that seems to be giving us more like what we want. So if I can just go down to this clip and just sort of say this. Let's see if this continues to give us what we want. Full of garbage. Clear it. And now we get that. I think the first time we're going to find that it's null anyway, so that's not going to be a problem. But if we continue, so now it contains the previous stuff. Step in. Did I not build this? It should have gone to the clear copy string function. I think it's empty at this point, yep. So now the dest is full of nothings. Continue. Text is full of some stuff. Let's step in. Oh, let's just step over. Honestly. Day one risky business unlock. Okay, so now I think we're now in business, and I think that should cure our times equals 2 problem. It should cure that problem, and it should cure the problem of not printing out the full file. Yeah, and it does. And it does. So yeah, so now that works again. Okay, so that's at least something. So let's call it that. Call it there for today. We've done a couple of hours. And then I think tomorrow we need to sort out the quote caching situation, because that totally isn't working. And I think also the reinsertion is busted, isn't it? Don't we find that we crash somehow? Yeah. So this is also busted. The reinsertion. Copy buffer no null. Colon 6811. It's screwed. So that's what we're going to be up to tomorrow. But no, it's good. We've got the program at least running now, and we're using a configured project, writing out the stuff correctly. And the interesting thing is that when we push credentials, we have just basically we don't bother to push on speaker credentials for the annotator, which I guess is just what we were somehow doing before, and I guess we just missed that bit of logic when we changed to do the new push credentials program function. But yeah, anyway, that's it for now. Thank you very much, Heroes and Heroines, for being here, for being fantastic, for being understanding. It's always good to be understanding. There's lots of understanding. Understanding PLC, understanding the relationship between PLC, understanding read, CSR. Yeah. Thank you as always for your understanding. Until next time, farewell for now.